My first postcard has a caption across the top of it: "Where there's light, there's hope." And it's the image of a yellow sun beaming down on blitz-damaged Bristol. And my second postcard is Welbeck Abbey, the Duke of Portland's estate, Nottinghamshire, with a ballroom underground, and you can just see the entrance to the ballroom with people flocking in to go dancing. Third postcard is Longleat House, with Lord Thynne feeding a giant tortoise on the lawn. My first one, blitz-damaged Bristol, sent to my uncle, who was in the Air Force and bombed Berlin. And just to tell him that all is not lost. That's all I want to say, all is not lost, but remember the light. The second one is to my grandma, remembering the magnificence and elegance of the Duke of Portland's estate when she taught me how to dance. Charleston and Black Bottom, she was a whiz, my grandma, but and she was also very strict, but that's another story. And the third one, to Lord Thynne, expressing my surprise at his choice of friends. To Lord Thynne of Longleat House. Dear Lord Thynne, it was quite an enlightening time being with you and sharing your animals and your affluent house, but perhaps more exciting, meeting your wifelets. Please don't think I'm being rude, but I thought us Brits should be monogamous. There again, being happy is special. By the way, your artwork, different. Not quite Monet or Da Vinci, but no doubt worth a few pounds. I wish I could be as eccentric as you. Just give me the time and your tortoise.
Mine are mainly of my past, memories from it. Two from Switzerland, because that's where my family were from, and the first one is the Chateau of Chinon, because that is, you can get some beautiful views and things of it from the lake, and it's an area that my family have been associated with over many generations. And I went and visited it with my sister on a holiday, which we've only had 1 or 2 holidays together. Then the second one is of the family house, I'm calling it that, in Couvet, in Neuchâtel. And it's quite a large brick house built in the 16th century with a date over the doorway as well. The third one is of a snow gum from Australia, which is where I lived for 22 years, and with birds. I think I prefer to have South-crested cockatoo or something like that, which would show up against the blended nicely with the background, and it's an interest of mine, birds. So yeah, that's my memories. My first one of the Chateau of Chinon, I will actually send to my sister, to remind her of the time we spent in Switzerland together and of her memories of the area, because she was at school there for a while. My second one, which was the house in Couvet, I'd like to send to the author of a family genealogist, because it's done slightly differently in Switzerland, well, in that part of Switzerland, and he'd researched his family, and our family had intermarried with his family for some time, and I was put in touch with him, and he sent me a book with all of the information in that he'd got, so I'd like to send it to him in thanks, because he was from Couvet as well. Then my third one, of the gum tree with the parrots. I think I've changed my mind about them being South-crested cockatoos, because I've remembered that they make a heck of a noise. And my friend who I'd like to send it to in Australia, who also likes trees and birds, well, I think she might object to the fact of the noise that they make around the place because they are a raucous lot. So yeah, that's my 3. To my sister, and I said it was many years ago when we were first in Switzerland, on the banks of Lake Geneva when we were very young children. I was delighted when you asked if I would join you to revisit these memories and set new ones by travelling to family-related places and seeing new places. Your time in Montreux being pivotal to that time, so the chateau seemed appropriate as a reminder.
My first postcard would be my two cats. So that's one of them. That's the other one. That one looks a bit like a gremlin. We call it our little gremlin, the other one, Ginny. The second one would be Pontrydyfen Aqueduct in the snow and the Swansea Bay Beach. Well, my first one was of my two cats, and I'd send that to my other cat-loving friend, Imogen, who is away at uni at the minute. My second one would be to Richard Burton, because he's from Pontrydyfen, and my second postcard was of Pontrydyfen Aqueduct in the snow, lit up. And the third one would be to my mum, because she loves the beach, and that's what the postcard was of. Okay, I'll go first. So my postcard of my two cats is going to my best friend Imogen, who's away at uni. So I'd say to Imi, which is her nickname. First of all, I hope this makes you smile, and I want you to know that even if we are a few miles apart, that you're not alone, and we will once again have too much gin at our lunch dates soon enough.
Well, my first one would be the Blue Mosque in Istanbul, because I really love Istanbul. I've been on holiday there several times, and it's a fascinating city. I love it. I don't suppose I'll ever go there again, but I've been there several times, and I really love it. The second would be children playing, because I love children, and I love to see them playing and enjoying themselves. And the third one would be the bane of my life, my dog, Ruby. She's got a perfect heart on her back. She's lovely, but she's a little pest sometimes.
And my first one is a really badly drawn Pablo the Wonder Pug, because he's famous. And my second one is a badly drawn seascape, because I like the sea, like the beach, any beach, especially Welsh ones. And then my third one is yet to be drawn, but it was going to be Kidwelly Castle. So I'm going to send a postcard of Pablo the Wonder Pug to all of you, since he loves coming to the session so much. I'm going to send a postcard of the sea to Chrissy, because we like walking on the beach together a lot. And I'm sending Kidwelly Castle to my parents, because they used to take me there a lot when I was a child. The postcard I've picked would be the one to Chrissy, and it says to Chrissy, "Let's always go for our traditional beach walks forever. Into the sea, you and me, all the years that no one heard. I'll show you in spring, it's a treacherous thing. I've missed you, hiss the love cats."
So my first one, which was the hug and a mug, I'm going to send to my best friend and her little girl that are in Yorkshire. I've not seen Freya since just after Christmas, and she's like 2.5 now, so I've not seen her. But I did get a chance to see my best friend Siobhan. We met up in Birmingham just before we went into local lockdown, so we could at least see each other. So yeah, I'd send them a hug. My radiated positivity one with the rainbow, I'd send to my other friend Dee and her little girl Astrid, because she's a very colourful, super positive, amazing person. So I feel like she'd appreciate that. And then the last one of the sunset and the words breathe, I'd send to me and Peach, just to remind ourselves to just take a breather every now and again. Chill out.
A place where I was from which I refer to as Kipping Junction, which is like a part in the area I grew up where like 2 roads meet, and I will take a Google image. Oh God, sorry, my phone interrupted me there. How rude. It's generally quite nice this time of year, because it's like nice autumn trees, and it's just a place that I remember giving wrong directions to someone by giving them all the names that I refer to the roads as, and them driving off not knowing where to go. Legend has it they're still driving around today trying to find the beach.
It was me.
My second postcard was my cat Sooty. Here he is. He's a little devil, but it's very nice because he was someone that I bought to help me with my anxiety, and instead he beats me up. when I don't give him fusses. Like, I'll be asleep and you would just feel his head bop you in the head, which is lovely. And then my third postcard would be my family, who are very happy that I have finally left them alone. Which would be something similar to this. I know I was obviously the most attractive person there at like 2 months old. So yes, that is my postcards. The first one, which was off Kippin, I would send to myself just so I could have a little bit of serotonin of seeing where I grew up. And the second one, which was of my cat, I would send to Dodie to tempt her to love me because she also loves cats. And the third, I would send to my mum because it was of our family. And at the moment, because she lives in the middle of nowhere, she's quite isolated right now. So just so she gets to see her family, who she doesn't get to see because we're all spread out at the moment. To myself, dear me, how have you been? JK, we're the same person. I know you're feeling stressed and a tad bit depressed, and that's okay. Let it out. Cry. Just remember that you'll be going home soon and you'll get to hug your mum, give Sooty all the love and kisses in the world. But to do that, you just need to do a few things first. Lots of love, you.
I'd have a postcard of Carrick-Kenning Castle near Llanelli because when the kids were young, we used to go, we had an old banger of a Morris of a car and it couldn't go very far, but my husband would say, okay, where do we want to go today? And the boys would always say Carrick-Kenning Castle, and we'd go and they'd have this wonderful time and going down to the dungeons and look over the walls. It's such a fantastic place. It evokes so much of Wales's past. So that would be one of my postcards. The other one would be Tenby. I know there are millions of photographs of Tenby, but it's such a beautiful place and I love it and so many happy memories. So that would be my second. And my third, which really would be my first, is a postcard that I have got and I treasure. And it's very plain. It's just of seabirds on a rock. But my son sent it from the Falklands when the Falklands War was on. And it was the first thing I received to let me know that he was safe. And it's something I really, really treasure.
Just a beautiful beach. The only one I can remember I've ever been to that's similar is in Barbados, where the seas are just so turquoise, the sand is so white and soft, and the sun was setting, and it was like there was strips, so it was like the aqua turquoise sea, and the white sand, then the aqua turquoise sea, and then the sun with the sort of oranges and pinks and purples, and then above that, the sort of indigo sky with little stars coming out. And the caption on it would be "Tomorrow is a new day." The second one that jumped into my head was my gorgeous dog that was with me for 15 years. I've got a photograph of her on my sunbed where I'd been lying on it, and when she was a pup, and I'd gone inside, and when I came out, she was actually lying on it as if she was fast asleep, as if she was sunbathing. And I would love to make that into a postcard. I just think it's so funny. And then the third one, I was tossing up between Henfigare Woods, Trosech Woods. I've got a lovely photograph of heron taking flight. But actually, because I'm up here, and because it's my spiritual home, it's a classic photograph of hay from the sort of Clyro end, and it just nestles in a beautiful area, and I love the way that hay is and always has been, and even with the changes. So I think probably I would go with that one just because I'm closer to it at the moment. The first one, which had the beautiful sunset and the words "Tomorrow is another day," I would have loads printed and send them out to anybody that just needs that extra boost. For instance, my best friend who lost her mum recently, anybody that is perhaps feeling quite down. The postcard of my dog, I think I'd send to myself and my partner as a reminder of the amazing 15 years I had with her, but also as a little trigger. Will we have another one? Will we? And then the last one of hay, I'm going to send to everybody in this group because I think we need to have an outing to the festival when it comes back on. And also to Maggie, we will go. I will bring you here, by hook or by crook. This popped into my head for the postcard to Chris about whether we have another dog or not. You say you'd like a dog again, but this time she must be ours. You have to bite the bullet and pick up the poo from between the flowers. If I couldn't take her for a walk for some or other reason, the responsibility would fall to you, and not just during the summer season. Because Pitt was mine when we first met, and it was a shock to your daily life to have patches of brown in your green grass, and barking at postmen was so rife. Over time, you grew to love her, and when she had to go, you were upset. So maybe we will have another dog. Let's just make sure we can afford the vet.
My first one, which was like a really colourful one with all different patterns and colours, I would send that to a friend that I haven't spoken to in a long, long time, but I feel like that would be suited to her. The second one of the beach or the ocean would probably be to my mother or father. And then one with flowers and trees and a garden, kind of all green, I would probably send that to my auntie. So I feel like she would really love that, and she loves postcards, so I feel like that would be suited to her.
My first postcard would be a picture of my two daughters playing on the beach. I'm going to say Saundersfoot because I love Saundersfoot. I would send that to my mum because she's stuck inside at the moment, and I know she's itching to get out. I would also send a postcard with a picture of my mum and her siblings on it to my grandmother. She's passed away, but after she died, we found in her effects a letter from the social services saying that she'd given up a son and he wanted to get back in contact with her, which none of us knew about before she died. So, I wrote back to the social services and I said what had happened, and we met him and all the siblings got to meet each other and everything. So I'd put that picture and I'd magically send that to her wherever she is now. And when I was 21, I went to China for a month, and there was a beautiful park in the city called Harbin. I think it's actually called Stalin Park, but it was so beautiful in the summertime, you know. And I would send that to my past self to just try and enjoy the moment more, because even though I was in this beautiful park in China, I was worrying about really stupid things at the time, and I didn't take it in as much as I would have liked to.